Good evening and welcome. This is the news at 6 on MITV. I'm Tomi Singh Adebukala. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, has again extended the strike in action by another 4 weeks. President of the union, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, disclosed his various statement on Monday. He said the decision was to give the government the opportunity to resolve all issues before they resume work. Noting that the body convened an emergency National Executive Committee meeting of the association at the University of Abuja on Sunday, the ASUU president said the extension is with immediate effect from the August 1st. The statement says the following extensive deliberations and taking cognizance of government's past failures to abide by its own timeline in addressing issues raised in the 2020 FG and ASUU Memorandum of Action, NEC resolved that the strike be rolled over for 4 weeks to give government more time to satisfactorily resolve all the outstanding issues. The rollover strike action is with effect from the 12 a.m. on Monday, 1st of August 2022 and it still lasts for 4 weeks. Still on education, the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board JAMB says no uniform minimum national unified tertiary matriculation examination UTME score for any of the tiers of tertiary institutions, and neither does JAMB decide any such requirement for any institution. The board made this known in Abuja on Monday by the board head Public Affairs and Protocol, Dr. Fabian Benjamin. Benjamin said the board did not and had never determined any uniform national UTME scores, otherwise known as cut-off mark by the general public for any tertiary institution. He further said that before the admission exercise would commence, a policy meeting was usually held with all the heads of institutions in attendance and chaired by the Minister of Education. According to him, at this meeting, the admission guidelines, which include recommendations from individual institutions and their preferred minimum admission scores, are presented and deliberated upon, and not JAMB. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, has kicked against renewed attempts by the federal government to add a 5% excise duty to the telecommunications services. When implemented, this will bring the total tax telecom consumers pay for telecom services to 12.5%. It disclosed this while speaking in Lagos at the ongoing exhibition organized by the Nigeria Office for Developing the Indigenous Telecom Sector, an agency domiciled in the Nigeria Communications Commission. According to him, the telecom sector already contributed a lot to the Nigerian economy, and adding more taxes could impact negatively its growth. He urged the government to consider taxing other sectors of the economy that are not contributing to the national development. Ahead of the 2023 presidential election, a member of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Senator Dino Melaye, has described the presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, as the most experienced and qualified of all the candidates jostling for the seat. Melaye, while speaking at the public declaration for Atiku Abubakar by Diamond Ladies in Abuja, argued that there is no basis for comparing Atiku with the presidential candidates of other parties. He maintained that the duo remained the front runners for the premium job of the presidency against the notion held in certain quarters that a presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, nor the candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, is better. PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar was represented by his daughter, Miriam Atiku, further appealed for the support of the teeming population of youths and women in the country, adding that only Atiku can fix Nigeria.
I'm happy that everybody here is singing one song, and that is Atiku for president. Many are already voting on social media, but INEC are no voting centers on social media. Atiku supporters are real, they are original, you can feel them, and they have PVCs. We have two very important people that are contesting this election. Atiku Abubakar Adamawa and Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC. Unfortunately, both of them are very wealthy. Both of them are billionaires, but there's a difference. Atiku Abubakar is a billionaire with enterprise, while Tinubu is a billionaire without enterprise.
And I would also like to speak about one thing that he really holds very special. And it's really about the youth. His Excellency Atiku Abubakar is all about the youth and all about involving youth in politics. So he personally told me to encourage everyone here and all the youth to get involved in nation building, and also most especially get involved in the forthcoming elections. He also plans to have youth, very high youth engagement in his government, but especially youth and women. They are at the forefront of these policies. So we encourage everyone to participate so that we can win back our sacred democracy and take this country back to where it's supposed to be.
As a Nigerian, as a true Nigerian that I am, I would like to advise youth to first of all get their PVC. Let them have rights to vote, whom to vote for. And secondly, the violence is becoming too much in Nigeria politics, and we don't like it. And that's the reason why we come up with these ideas to talk to youth, to talk to women, to encourage them, to mobilize them, to know the right person to vote for. They shouldn't, on the contrary, they shouldn't sell their future for money.
In another development, the Muslim ticket adopted by the ruling All Progressive Congress APC has continued to dominate the political landscape of Nigeria, while the APC has justified that there is no discrimination behind the Muslim ticket. Opposition parties, especially the PDP, the People's Democratic Party, and the Christian community have also berated the ruling party for taking a step that may further polarize an already religiously divided nation. Even the Christian community across the nation has vehemently rejected the Muslim ticket, berating the APC for not being sensitive to the clamor for inclusiveness in the nation. Senator Kashim Shettima has also defended his emergence as the APC running mate, saying he ran a government without religious discrimination when he was Borno State governor. Political analysts and legal practitioners have also dismissed the controversy generated by this issue, the Muslim presidential ticket of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC. Ahead of the presidential polls in the 2023 elections. Now, in separate interviews, analysts said the Muslim ticket should not have generated the intense national debate that currently dominates the polity. One of them, Barrister Stephen Adaramoye, and another one, Makinde Ogunleye, pointed out that religious issues should not be considered in political or elected offices, just as they wondered why the myriad of problems Nigeria is currently facing do not dominate political discussions ahead of the elections. Another legal practitioner, Adebamigbe Omole, shared their opinion while making it clear the competence among the contending candidates should be the serious issue for national discourse, not the religious sentiment.
Ordinarily, the issue of Muslim ticket ought not to have generated the controversy, the debate it has generated. I mean, it will have been unnecessary. In decent climate, in developed climate, like Britain, Europe, all those things are not the material or essential factor that should be considered
the Muslims or somebody picking 2 Muslims representing them. If you go back to the APC government, yes, we know that a Christian is a VP, but I don't believe the impact has been felt, whether because it's a Christian, that what this is this and that was that. It has not made any impact. And if you go back even to Shagari and Kwame, you certainly notice this dichotomy. So they are just using all these ones for political expediency, I believe. They are just using it for political expediency. That's it. Because we are not we are a secular state. So I don't think that issue should come out. The issue whether the representation can be from religions, but it's not from a particular religion. They are traditional religions now. Why are they not shouting about traditional religious representation? So personally, I'm on the view that it doesn't make any much difference.
Have the capacity, have the competence to be able to deal with Nigerian problems. But it's like we've all decided to leave all those questions and be talking about religion. Religion has nothing to do with competence. Religion has nothing to do with capacity to be able to deliver. We need to engage these candidates and take from them what is your take on the economy, what is your take on the political situation, what is your take on security. But that is not being done. But rather, we've engaged ourselves on whether it should be Christian, Muslim, joint ticket, or Christian, joint ticket, or Babalawo and the rest of you joint ticket.
Gunmen have attacked Joro Manu village in Gusau local government area of Taraba State, killing 3 people and kidnapping 6 others. Residents said the attackers came on motorcycles at about 2 p.m. on Sunday and started shooting at sight. Now, residents of the community, Umar Saidu and Abdullahi Muhammad, told our correspondent that people were fleeing the communities around the area for fear of being killed or kidnapped. Acting Police Public Relations Officer of Taraba State Command, Gambo Bajabu Kwate, confirmed the incident on Monday and said the police were already on top of the situation. The immediate past chairman of Gusau local government, Musa Chul, had last year raised the alarm over the regrouping of terrorists in forests around the council area. In order to avert further building collapse, 2 highly distressed residential buildings earlier marked for demolition in Mushin area of Lagos have been demolished. The demolition was carried out on Bishop Street and Agege Motor Road by officials of the State Building Control Agency, LAPSCA, who stormed the entire length and breadth of the area to uncover more distressed structures in preparation for demolition. During the exercise, occupants of each of the 1-floor distressed building ran helter-skelter to remove their belongings as the bulldozer brought the buildings down. Leading the officials of the agency during the exercise is the Director of Enforcement, LAPSCA. He said the monitoring and compliance exercise was part of the agency's routine maintenance and mandate aimed at nipping in the bud incessant building collapse in Lagos.
Still carrying out our exercise on removal of all distressed buildings, all buildings that are at the risk of collapsing. And we are here to make sure that people are evacuated from such buildings. Like this particular one, number 26, Bishop Street. The place has been long served. It has been there, and people can still find out that some of our people are still living there, using it as a place for scraps. Unfortunately, sometimes where we mark, we need to understand that it's because there is a serious reason and there is a serious concern over that building. So, but sometimes when it's a building that is distressed, people seem to be looking for a means to avoid that building being brought down. They try to perhaps maybe looking for a back door or something. But in LAPCA, we are not ready to do any compromise.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll bring you stories from the foreign. Now we'll begin with Africa. Welcome. Now starting with Africa, the trial of former South African President Jacob Zuma for corruption was adjourned again until the 17th of October in Pietermaritzburg High Court on Monday. The case was adjourned pending the outcome of Zuma's leave to appeal as he faces corruption, fraud, money laundering and racketeering charges. The judge said that a further holding date for the trial to continue will be determined. Zuma's legal team made the application requesting for the removal of Chief Prosecutor Billy Downer, accusing him of being biased. Zuma is accused of receiving kickbacks to the tune of over 4 million rands between 1995 and 2004.
The president found that there were no exceptional circumstances warranting reconsideration of the petition being dismissed.
Yes.
The second issue, which your lordship made an order of the court on the 17th of May, was the constitutional court application. Your lordship said that
it was part of the order. Yes.
Yeah, part of the order. So indeed, my learned friends for accused number one, Mr. Zuma, did indeed launch an application to the Constitutional Court, dated the 10th of June 2022. It was filed, and we, the state, answered in the Constitutional Court on the 17th of June.
Iran's atomic energy chief Mohammed Eslam says the country has the ability to build a nuclear weapon but has no plan to, echoing a similar recent statement by a senior advisor to the Iran supreme leader. Such public claims by top officials are rare and are likely to intensify concerns over the nature of Iran's nuclear program. It has advanced its nuclear activities since a deal limiting them faltered. The 2015 agreement began to unravel when the U.S. pulled out and reinstated crippling economic sanctions. Iran has repeatedly claimed its nuclear program is for purely peaceful purposes, but Western powers and the global nuclear watchdogs say they are not convinced. Hundreds of firefighters in California are battling the largest wildfire to spread in the state so far this year. The McKinney fire, which started in northern Siskiyou County on Friday, has already burnt 21,000 hectares. At least 2,000 residents as well as trekkers on the Pacific Crest hiking trail have left the area, authorities say. Homes have been destroyed. The emergency services latest report said it was 0% contained. A red flag warning indicating a threat of dangerous fire conditions is in place as California suffers from persistent drought conditions. The state governor, Gavin Newsom, said the state of emergency was declared in Siskiyou County after homes were destroyed and infrastructure threatened.
This high-pressure system as a heat dome that has impacted not just the state of California, but the entire west coast of the United States. It has led to many red flag warnings, including a significant number of lightning strikes in the last 72 hours, some 10,849 lightning strikes alone just in the last number of days, including, and it bears repeating, the prospect of a world record 130-degree temperatures here in the state of California, 130-degree temperature.
New Zealand's borders are fully open for the first time since March 2020, one day short in an effort to keep out COVID-19 pandemic, as immigration authorities are expected to begin accepting visitors and visas and those on student visas again. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern called it an enormous moment, adding it was part of a cautious process. Now, most visitors will still need to be fully vaccinated. There are no quarantine requirements. The country's maritime border has also reopened, with cruise ships and foreign recreational yachts now allowed to dock. New Zealand first announced a phased reopening plan in February. It allowed vaccinated citizens to return from Australia that month, those coming from elsewhere to return in March.
It's extremely exciting to know that from midnight on the 27th of February, we will begin to welcome home again those Kiwis or eligible travellers who are in Australia. And that's the beginning of our reconnection plan, which then follows 2 weeks later with those in other parts of the world able to travel home without managed isolation. I think what those travellers will find is an airport welcome that they're really familiar with, but with some added extras.
Okay, very well. We'll now take a break again. When we come back, it's time for sports stories.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Getting free premium television is as easy as 1, 2, free. 1. Make sure you purchase any free-to-air decoder or satellite receiver. If you already have one and any dish, you are good to go. 2. Enter the settings on your decoder or go to our website to learn how. And free. Scroll through and find Premium Free Bouquet. It's that easy. 25 channels with access to 200 more. Free forever. No cost, no subscription, 100% free. Take the next step. 1, 2, free, and just watch. Start watching Premium Free today. Why pay? Just watch.
Welcome back. Barcelona President Joan Laporta on Monday says the club has sold 25% of Barcelona Studios, which manages the club's digital business and audio-visual productions, to Socios.com for 100 million euros. Club members had voted to allow the sale of 49% of the shares. Laporta said at the press conference to President Jules Koundé bought for a reported 50 million euros from Sevilla as a Barcelona player. Earlier this summer, the deeply indebted club sold 15% of its La Liga TV revenue to American investment fund 6th Street in 2 tranches of a total of 400 million euros before going on a transfer spree. In addition to Koundé, Barcelona have bought Robert Lewandowski from Bayern Munich and Rafinha from Leeds and signed AC Milan midfielder Frank Kessie and Chelsea's Danish central defender Andreas Christensen on free transfers. Antonio Conte is not thinking about a contract extension at Tottenham at the moment, but insists he shares a healthy relationship with Chairman Daniel Levy and Managing Director Fabio Paratici. The Italian tactician helped Spurs seal UEFA Champions League berth for the 2022-2023 season and have made significant signings in the summer transfer window. With the arrivals of Richarlison, Visoma, Ivan Perisic, Clement Lenglet, DJ Spence, Spurs now look well placed to challenge for silverware under a battle-hardened manager, but he isn't thinking about signing a new deal at the moment. The 53-year-old manager has, however, also insisted he shares a fantastic relationship with the players and the board, and he would have no qualms in extending his stay at the right time. The Lionesses of England paraded the Euro 2020 trophy around London's Trafalgar Square on Monday after beating Germany 2-1 in the final at Wembley. The event was free for attendance as up to 7,000 fans were granted entry on a first-come, first-served basis. The newly crowned European champions performed a trophy lift at the event, which Trafalgar Square turned into an official UEFA fan party to celebrate the accomplishment. Euro 2020 ended in glory for the host nation as England beat Germany 2-1 after extra time at Wembley, with Chloe Kelly the hero as she scored a 100th minutes winner to hand the Lionesses a first major trophy. And in basketball, Moria Jefferson scored 22 points. Silver Fowles had 16 points and 9 rebounds as the Minnesota Lynx beat the Los Angeles Sparks 84-77. Jefferson shot 9 for 14. Fowles made her first 8 shots before missing on her final attempt for Minnesota. Fowles Bucket gave the Lynx a 9-7 lead and they never trailed again. Nneka Ongumike scored 23 points to lead Los Angeles. Minnesota shot 54.4% overall amid 6 of 11 from three-point range. The Lynx held Los Angeles to 36.1% shooting, including 6 of 24 from beyond the arc. That's it on our news at 6. Join us at 9:30 for our primetime news. I'm Tomisi Adebukola. Good evening.
Do you have continuity or are